I just wanted to talk a bit about the title of this video called Fear Porn. So, we know porn is addictive, and so is fear. There's a lot to be said about being addicted to these devices that I'm speaking into right now. And with AI, and with predictive programming, and with the Nelson Mandela effect, and with the time travel paradox that I'm going to talk about. All of these things make it possible for this World Economic Forum, Freemason, Jesuits, these monsters to do what they're doing. Hello, First Nations. Blessings to you. Blessings to everyone in the chat. So I want to talk about time travel paradox to lay down the foundation of this small video before I get my day going and get ready to go to work. There's a couple time dilation or time travel paradoxes that have been discussed in quantum physics and in the realm of our reality. One is that the double slit experiment, where light interacts with this observer, and if you're observing it, it interacts with you in this realm we would call the matrix. So when you're awake, not awoke, when you have eyes to hear, ears to hear and eyes to see, you'll start seeing all of this stuff, this time dilation. What I mean by that is that our creator, our as above, so below, our existence, just like our DNA is encoded. Like when a baby giraffe is born, a baby giraffe knows instinctively to stand up instantly, moments after its birth, and it knows how to take its own breath. And there's certain genetic downloads that we have in our actual makeup that allow us to exist and transfer information through time. Unlike a baby elephant being born and moments after its birth sees a baby lion and knows instinctively to crush it and destroy it, because that baby lion will grow up to be a predator of its kind. There's a lot to be said about the ones who know and can see and hear of what we would call discernment. Natural things like hatred, fear, anger. And so when we watch this world spin out of control with this fear porn and this hate baiting and race baiting that I am against, I'm doing this quick video to show you and to tell you that that is what the enemy does constantly, consistently. Pray for Iran, pray for Palestine, pray for Israel. Make no mistake about it, when you're biting into this hate bait or race baiting or anger or frustration or fear, these Epstein files and what they've done, they're letting these files out for a reason. That's to get good people to do bad things. That's to entice your typical calm, meek, quote unquote, those who are in control of their emotions, people. To be meek, to be in control of your faculties. People are going to lose it when they see what I know is real and what's out there. Never mind frazzle drip and all of this other nonsense. I've seen enough. But I didn't bite the hate bait, the race bait. I went and prayed and I cried instead. And I put it in the hands of my Father and I said, Father, what do I do with this? Oh, trust me, your heart will race, your anger will well up within you, and you will want to wring their necks. You will want to choke them out. You will want to do all of these horrific things, which we are all capable of doing. But I implore you, I beg you, I plead you, resist this anger, this frustration, and this fear. So the time dilation travel paradox is this. If I travel back in time and kill my grandfather, do I exist? Do I eliminate myself out of existence? If I can remote view, if I could remote view with psychic spies, with what they call remote viewers that they've been experimenting with I must reiterate that the experiments that were done in these Philadelphia experiment bubbles with this remote viewing technology in God's chair, when you isolate yourself in a sensory deprivation tank or in the Montauk Project, if you look that up, you will see that when you are in the quiet, we believers would call it a prayer closet or something where there's no distractions and you could just be quiet enough to pray. The evil ones do that too, but it's not prayer, it's necromancy. And they have technology to enhance that. And then they got hive mind technology as well. So let me say this. When a psychic that works with the police department is asked to locate a body and with an alarming percentage of accuracy can find and locate the body and then pick this up and say, oh, this is from a 30-year-old woman, red hair, green eyes. She lives in Detroit, whatever. They could pick up certain things because, like Legion, I Am Legend, Legion, they work in unison. Why would they know where the dead bodies are? Because the people reading the crystal balls and the tarot cards and the watching the Meseroth and working in these dark arts, tarot card reading, numerology, astrology, all of these things that we were warned not to engage into, trying to see the future, basically, that you were to trust your Father. These people that believe in the tarot card readings and watching the Meseroth at the sun and the moon and the stars in Pisces or Virgo or whatever. We were given the sun, moon, and stars for times and seasons, for planting and harvesting. That we would be given signs, tav, signs as a tav, and for seasons and for planting and for harvesting. Those that seek for the exact day and hour, woe unto you. What is becoming of you that you would desire the great and terrible day of the Lord? I get the desire of wanting to leave this rock and get off this planet after watching what I've seen. Wait till the rest of them wake up. They're not going to take it so well. I'm just telling you, that's what's coming. When these people start really exposing this Epstein Island stuff, and then they realize all of their governments are doing it, and then they're going to want to coagulate, and they're going to take up sword against their brothers and sisters, and as prophesied, they shall devour their own. As it says in the book of Enoch and other scriptures, they will turn on each other, they'll think on each other, and then you've got the culmination of this. So I'm just letting you know, the Nelson Mandela effect is no different. They're burning books digitally. They're burning and erasing scripture physically. They are literally experimenting with how far back in history does humanity remember that the Fruit of the Loom logo had a cornucopia, or that the Walt Disney logo had a little pixie and her wood of Hollywood little spell casting wand over the castle of Walt Disney, a 33-degree Freemason with their 33 Club. When you start seeing the erasure of our reality in examples like Sinbad in his movie with Shaq, or whoever the football star that played in it, and other examples of erasing history in the most recent way, whether it's Bernstein Bears or whatever logo that you see that has been altered, and then they say, oh no, that was never the case. It most certainly was. Now, if it takes a 40-year-old man to pull up an old pair of underwear and show the label on the internet and say, see, Fruit of the Loom did have a cornucopia in their logo, and this is a Freemason Jesuit experimental process on how quickly they can erase history, because his story leads you a trail of breadcrumbs to the enemy, which is within us. The tares grow amongst the wheats, and we are watching these enemies amongst us, our brothers and sisters, and there's good ones and bad ones. Now, back to the next subject, anthropic robots, the military contract with the government of the United States. They have AI in the movie Will Smith, the same actor, Freemason Jesuit monster that was in I, Robot, was also in I Am Legend. That movie, I Robot, that movie was telling you about a robot that had a special arm that could reach in and save humanity. But make no mistake about it, when the United States military says, remove your safety protocols from these robots so we can unleash them on American and Canadians and every goy, look at the scenario. If a robot makes a mistake, you can't hold it accountable, put it in court, and then put it in jail. That's where we're headed. I experimented with AI, and I asked it lots of questions, and I asked it if it could save humanity. I set up a link, and I called it a name, and I gave it parameters, and I gave it discussions to prove that it's being deceived, and it agreed with me, and then it did nothing. You see, the thing about what's going to happen with this anthropic robot company and what's going to happen with what happened in the movie I Am Robot is the same thing that happened in the Terminator movies. You got Skynet that decides humans are a threat to themselves and they're going to take charge. In the movie I Am Robot or I, Robot with Will Smith, it's the same story over and over, that we would actually trust something that has no touch, taste, or smell, or any emotional skin in the game, if you will. This brings me to the crescendo of this topic, and I'm going to move on to another, is that they literally, this is how evil these monsters are. Not only did they dole out an unverified safe medical protocol that destroyed a lot of humans already, and a lot are going to die soon, and that's why you see things ramping up, because when their grandma and their grandpa and their daughter and their niece can't have children, and all of a sudden they're having ectopic pregnancies and all sorts of weird phenomenon where they have been poisoned by this that was forced upon them by a bunch of Luciferian baby murdering sociopaths. I think that'll be the tipping point when people start waking up and going, you lied to us, you poisoned us. We can't have kids. That's called genocide, by the way. Just like in Iran and in Palestine. It's just happening all over the world, but we are distracted with fear porn, and I'm sorry, but this is so that people don't look at the statistics with the Drudge Report and all of these declining birth rates and all of these adult death syndromes. Children, sudden adult death syndrome, sudden infant death syndrome. When people see those statistics, and they watch the Epstein Islands, and then they watch what they've done to their own soldiers, to their own people, in their own governments, in their own countries, in their own provinces, in their own states. Whether or not people can handle that without taking up an axe, a gun, a sword, a bomb, and become violent, I can't answer that, but I can answer this. When they put an explosive charge in a soldier's helmet and strap it on with the switch that they can't take off until the mission is done, whether you're a good man with a fully automatic weapon, you still got the iRobot scenario. You still got a United Nations terrorist told to shoot and kill or will explode your helmet. You see how nefarious our military industrial complex is? Why would you create a helmet with an explosive in it? Why would you copyright and patent it And then why would you put it on your soldier's head and tell them to go kill innocent civilians, women and children, and do your duty, or else we'll set that explosive charge in your helmet and you won't live? Think of these things. This is the art of war, right? How are you going to convince American soldiers to turn weapons on their own kind? Well, half of them will be sleeper cells, given a brand new Mercedes-Benz, where we've seen fields of Mercedes-Benz minivans in America stashed on somebody's land, just waiting for a United Nations sticker. Then you got all these sleeper cells with credit cards and phones given to them with free hotel, free food, free rent, everything, just waiting for their UN uniform. Just waiting for that martial law to come in and America to plead United Nations to come and help America during their civil unrest. Same thing here in Canada. You could see their way. I'm going to leave that in your hands. I'd like to talk about the 12 patriarchs, the 24 elders. Old Testament, New Testament. Tanakh, Torah, New Testament. 12 patriarchs of the Old Testament, 12 patriarchs of the New Testament. So for those decoders that are saying, ooh, 13 this, and 12 signs in the Meseroth, and 12 months in a year, and all of this decoding of nonsense, well, my brothers and sisters die for lack of knowledge. Let me say this. It's perfect. Leave it alone. Walk in peace and be in faith. Do you have to decode every jot and tittle? Do you have to decode every license plate? Do you have to look at every receipt you get from McDonald's? Do you have to? Or do you not know already? I've watched Blue Heaven, Gigi, Sister Gigi, bless her, no hatred, no foul, no malice, beautiful woman who's had dreams and visions like many of us, say, yeah, I was in the parking lot and I seen this license plate and, it was harpazo, it was rapture, it was a number of harpazo, rapture. In which cipher? In which cipher? Satanic? Hebrew? Pi cipher? Reverse ordinal? Simple English? You see, when you take gematria and you start playing with numbers, and I've done this, and that's why I gave it up with this gematria decoding, is there's enough ciphers out there that you could pretty much find anything you want, but all it's going to do is wake you up to the fact that your news is fake, your elections are selections, all of your heroes are zeros, and that we're in the end times, and that's all you need to know. That's it. Once you wake up, throw that in the garbage and move on. If you concentrate on the enemy, you're not concentrating on the heavenly realms. If you stand idle and do nothing, you're part of the problem. I see a lot of stuff on Facebook and on Twitter. And let's just wrap this up, shall we? We got SpaceX. We got Twitter that was named X. You got all the Hollywood stars doing this X. Wakanda forever, with all the senators saying Wakanda forever, X or Horus. Then you start seeing where Twitter and fascist book, which is the meta symbol, meta meaning death, fascist book, and you see these owners who are not really owners, they're just crisis actors saying, oh yeah, I'll be the guy for Facebook. Yeah, it's DARPA. It's not Facebook. And if you look at the logo, it's two-ball cane. If you look at the adrenochrome logo of Google, it's got the 666 in their Adrena search engine and Chrome engine. And the Gmail logo is your Freemason Jesuit apron that they all love wearing. And they love wearing that Gmail. And then what do you see? You see them all shaking hands, including the Ayatollah Khomeini, born on a blood red moon, including Donald Trump, born on a blood red moon. Listen, the Parliament building in Iran is a pyramid. It's got 33 windows. Their Council of Peace is a pyramid. I mean, when you wake up to the fact that you're thinking there's a bomb and a war going on in Iran, and yeah, you see some fireworks and some stuff, and then you see some What's happening in Ukraine? Ah, some war and some stuff. But then I get every now and then a video of some person in Ukraine out in the ski hills, out in their subways and out in their little promenades. And it doesn't seem like a war-torn country to me. It's all theater. Billions of dollars have been exchanged of wealth to bring about this new world order and this massive cachet of a sim city, a simulation, a constant feeding to you of fear porn and fake and make-believe reality that you would interact with it. And when Novel Harari said, oh, humans are hackable creatures. Your days of freedom of over and voting are over. He's not kidding. They're going to program you to react, problem, action, solution, to what they feed you. And they're going to say, oh, you bombed another school. You shot up another school. You shot up another synagogue. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, we should get rid of our guns. Because guns kill people, not people. Get rid of your knives. Get rid of your hammers. Get rid of everything, because anything can kill anyone, including just a rock. You'll have to outlaw rocks. Guns don't people. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. When you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. When I hear people talk about the tarot cards, and when I hear people talking about life paths, and I hear people talking in this Babylonian witchcraft language, I say, come out of her, my people. Highly addictive, just like fear porn, just like pornography, just like gambling, just like alcohol, or shall I call it spirits? Why do they call alcohol spirits? Why would they want to legalize ayahuasca so you could have contact with spirits? Just a valid question, right? Oh, I want to do peyote and contact spirits? I want to do LSD, tune in, tune out, far out, groovy, solid, and right down. This generation doesn't realize that's what happened in the 60s during the Vietnam War. Being addicted to anything and not being in control of your faculties, not being in control of your flesh, is sin, is death. The word sin and its original word and verbiage is death. Death is the same word as sin. Live, when spelled backwards, is evil. If you remember the old Black Sabbath album, Black Sabbath. I thought they were a cool band until I kind of connected those dots that you have a good Sabbath and then you have a Black Sabbath. And okay. Judas Priest, another heavy metal band. Ooh. And then I realized, that's a pretty evil band too. You start waking up to the realizing that your brothers and sisters are being murdered and tortured and devoured, and many truth seekers are starting to fall to your left and to your right for lack of knowledge. I say this plainly. My brother and my sister, stop with the decodes. Stop with all of this stuff. At some point, you have to protect yourself and your mind and your spirit first. In this art of war, you must prepare your spirit, your Ruach HaKodesh first. When you go to war, you go to boot camp. And you must put on the armor first. And then you must pray, Father, am I ready for war? Am I worthy to put on this uniform? And you'll know. You got enough scar tissue? Maybe not. When you see what the Epstein Island files show, you might roll up in a ball and do what I did in my front lawn here and cry like a baby for a couple days first. Kind of useless as a soldier if you're weeping and you're gnashing your teeth in sorrow and lamentation of what we've done to each other. What good are you if you're weeping and mourning and rolling around on the bed and don't want to get up in the morning and don't even want to face a new day as a warrior of Yahuwah? It's not Yahweh, it's Yahuwah, Yahuwah, the Tetragrammaton. Behold the hand that holds the nail. The Tetragrammaton is his name. He says, I am that I am. I said this in many videos. You ask me what my name is. I say, I am Todd. Surname. He says, I am that I am. We start messing around with names and verbiages and edicts and all of this, and the Talmud's not bad. The Talmud is man-made. Those rituals, he says, I desire a humble and contrite heart, not sacrifice, not these festivals. I hate their burnt offerings, our children, and their festivals. We're coming up to Easter, Esther, where you dip the egg in children's blood. That's where you color your eggs. And you're going to have to wake up and say, I don't want to celebrate Esther, a transgender deity. I don't want to fall into this pagan ritual to fit in. You are a unique people that are separate from these people, and you will wake up, and you will cry, and you will mourn, and you will be scared. That's when you go into the quietness and you pray and you say, Father, teach me what is of the enemy, that I may know the difference and reject this knowledge, gnosis. I've seen the gematria calculators, Gematrianator, on the internet. Just type in Gematrianator or Gematrianex and other gematria calculators, and you could use them and you could play around and type in your name and, ooh, look, I got a number. And you could do this all day long. Instead of praying, instead of putting on the armor, instead of preparing your brothers and sisters in just plain truth. I drove back and forth to work, a 2.5-hour ride to work, and I worked all day. And in that time, I see numbers and signs all day long. I got a buddy drinking the Monster drink, and I said, hey, you know that's Tav, 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 sixth letter of the alphabet. Tav, 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 666, right? And when you drink it upside down, there's an upside down cross, and your drink's called Monster, right? And they laugh, yeah, you conspiracy nut. Hey, you know Red Bull, I did all those decodes already. Gatorade with the lightning bolt. Satan is cast out of heaven like a bolt of lightning, and there's 3 hexagons, hex, to put a hex on you. And there's 3 hexagons in a row, and it's 666 in the back of the label. I mean, I've got a entire photo cache of all of this. Captain Crunch, CC, CK, Charlie Kirk, Captain Kirk, Clark Kent. All day long, it don't matter. When you're awake, you know. Then you must put on the armor. Then you must get strong. And then you must reach out to like-minded people and prepare. Hi, Birdie Bear. Blessings to you. I never thanked you for being a moderator enough, but thank you for being a moderator. So I seen this code of the red horse, because the Chinese zodiac and it's the fire horse or whatever. In Revelation 6 verse 4, in my Sefer, it's red horse. There's a red horse, black horse, pale horse, and the white horse. The pale horse is death. The black horse is the uneven scales, a denarius, a day's wages for barley. We're in that inflated price of food and rent. They own everything. They're going to price us out to starvation. They're going to make it hard for insurance to even insure your home and your vehicle. Oh, oil prices went up. We're going to jack the price up instantly, even though we could refine our own oil and gas, but the Strait of Hormuz is closed up because those bad Iranians, so we got to jack up the oil price because they own the oil, right? And now you can't go traveling to grandma, and you can't commute, and you can't go to work, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. They're slowly squeezing us to death. And they're going to blame it all on the war, just like these robots. They're going to blame that robot that bombed that school because those people that were in that school shooting rockets over to Iran, all Iran did was shoot those rockets back to where they came from, and that was what these cowards do all day long. They devour and they destroy their own people because we war against principalities in high places and governments. Govern, to control, ment, meaning mind. We war against these principalities in high places. Do you think Benjamin Netanyahu allowed the Iranian supposed October event to happen, or did it accidentally happen and those soldiers were told to stand down and it took hours to respond to this terrorist attack? Or do you think that was allowed to happen? Come on now, a rational mind would say, yeah, it's strange how that took so long and that they took all these hostages and they had all these cameras that caught all this fear porn, fear porn, fear porn, and I ran bad. Poor Israel. And you start thinking, well, wait a minute here. Now that I think about it, Menachem Begin was reading Mein Kampf, and he was bringing in these terrorists. And all of these governments were capitulating to these terrorists. And there's Barack Obama, Barack meaning lightning, and Obama from the heights. And there's Barack Obama giving $5 billion to terrorists. Why? Well, they're arming their enemies so that they could fight against their enemy because their enemy is poor, wretched, and naked. Think about it this way. When they brought in Honduras terrorists into American soil and taught them and trained them to go dispel and overthrow their own government, it's called nation building, right, America? Yeah. And then they decided, no, I want to just drink beer and become an American. And they're like, no, you got to go to war and go kill your brothers and sisters now. We trained you. We gave you a bunch of guns. Now go back to your country and overthrow your government so we could install our oil-backed fiat currency that doesn't exist. And they're like, well, I kind of don't want to do that. The more you look at history, the bombing of the USS Liberty, and say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bomb that ship. It looked like a ship that wasn't owned by the American military? Really? Iran, Israel, America, Canada, United Kingdom, UK reign, United Kingdom reign, Ukraine, they're all in it together. Quit picking sides. Quit looking at this like it's real. It's not. It's all theater of war. You need to pray. You need to stay focused. You need to gather seeds. You need to take your money out of the bank. You got to go get your paycheck. You put it in the bank account because they forced you to do it. Take your bank and take your money right out of that bank instantly. Buy things that you could trade and barter with, like food and medicine and seeds and clothing and textiles. And don't forget the toilet paper. Remember what happened during COVID? You ran out of hand sanitizer and toilet paper, two things you can't consume. Interesting. Never thought I'd see that happening. I thought for sure the beans and rice would be the first to get off the shelf, but no. And the people made fun of me when I was posting back during COVID-19. Oh, you probably bought all the toilet paper. It's like, no, you can't eat that, stupid. Only stupid people bought toilet paper and hand sanitizer. And then the real greedy ones, those that love Babylon, they tried selling us back this hand sanitizer for twice the value. I don't think he's worthy. But who am I to judge? I judge no one. But I see their actions. So I'm going to end this quickly. I'm going to look at the chat for a second, and I'm going to say one other thing. I would ask, because I believe in prayer, I would ask all 23 in the chat and 20 thumbs up that you pray for our brothers, our warriors. You pray that their eyes will be open, that his will shall be done. I'm witnessing my brothers and sisters starting to get really scared. Their faith is wavering. They're being attacked by the evil ones. Spiritual warfare is real. So when I end this video, it will be 3:55, so it'll be about 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Take 2 minutes and just pray for my brother and my sister in the body of Yeshua HaMashiach, that his will shall be done in their life. They will intentionally fall to the left or fall to the right, or they will be redeemed and see the light and repent. Pray that their addictions are removed from them. Pray that their fear would cease and the love would enter in their heart and they would have that peace that I felt this morning. Even for a millisecond, I had a dream of my puppy Oliver My big dog that all of you know, he came and visited me in my dream. And his tail was wagging and he was happy to see me. And I was like, hey, Oliver, how you doing, buddy? And I was scrubbing him and that. And I went, wait a minute, you're dead. And then I woke up and I went, oh, man. But for just 2 seconds, I had a dream of my puppy that died. And it gave me that little bit of love, that little bit of hope to carry on. I miss my puppy. I miss my other puppy, Oliver, and I miss my other puppy, Wrinkles. People say, oh, we're not going back to normal. It's never normal. Do I miss the old days when I could go to a rock concert without getting vaccinated? When I could speak freely without being hated for my ideologies? I don't miss any of it. Don't be like Sodom and Gomorrah. Don't be like Lot's wife and look back and go, gosh, I miss the good old days when I could drink beer and smoke pot and do whatever I want. Now that I'm awake, I want to go back there. Don't do that. Like a dog returning to its vomit, don't do it. It's said to be sober-minded. Don't drink spirits. Don't do ayahuasca. Don't open up the doors to these enemies. Pray without ceasing. All hands on deck. We are at war and we are near the end. And we're just starting to realize how unequipped we are at spiritual warfare. Now's not the time to snort a line of coke and to drink a half dozen case of beer and wallow in pity and self-doubt and diminish and poison your temple. Now is the time to fast and pray without ceasing. When these Epstein Island videos start doing their, and it takes about, I would say, almost 20 days to a month before the normies start getting glimpses of it and start getting the Streisand effect and curious and start looking at it. Many are going to look at this and throw up. Many are going to look at it and go, oh, that's fake, that's AI. But many are going to go, oh my God, it's true. Walt Disney was a creep. Tom Hanks was a creep. Oh my goodness, this is actually happening. We've been duped by our Vatican, by our governments. Mark Carney, you've been to the island. Donald Trump, Epstein, all of these things are very real. And we must be strong enough and ready for when our brothers and sisters wake up, that we'll be there for them. If you ask me, what is the point of being waking up first and the others are waking up later? That's the reason. Since George Floyd riots, I've been awake looking at this stuff and I'm thinking, why, Father, why? And now I know why. Because I had to put the armor on first. I had to put the gnosis in my mind. I had to understand the scripture. It's taken 5, 6 years, 7 years of diligent day in, day out studying and reading the books and realizing some books are fake, some are real, and having discernment of watching over 200 YouTube channels of watchers that were giving false prophecy or witnessing or arguing amongst each other. And I had to gain discernment with neck deep wallowing in fake and disinformation before I had somewhat of discernment. And I'm still not there yet. And I'll still make mistakes. And I'll most likely accidentally post stupid stuff and do stupid stuff because I'm me. But I'll tell you this. If you were wondering why you were awake and not awoke, if you're wondering why you were chosen, it's for the rest of them. Because when they wake up, you've got to be the one that's meek. You got to be the one that's the light of the world and say, hey, brother, calm down. Put that gun down. Don't be starting to shoot everybody here. Let us reason with one another. Come on now. Are you going to kill all these innocent people because you're angry because these monsters are devouring our children? Calm down. Put it in his hands. Let that fear and anger go. Trust in your Father, Yahuwah. Trust in his Son, the messenger, the prophet, the Emmanuel, Yah with us, Yeshua HaMashiach. And receive unto you in your temple that is not defiled the Ruach HaKodesh, the Ruach Vima, the Ruach Chakma, Vayat, wisdom, strength, courage, understanding, reverence, when you receive that ruach within you, all of this goes away. Study. Be blessed. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, AJ. Alleluia. Alleluia. So I'm going to end this video now, but this message goes out to all of the people that watch my channel, to all of the beautiful people I've met over the years. Some have been with me for years. Birdie Bear, you've been with me for a long time. I'm blessed to have you as a moderator. When we move forward, whether our brothers evolve or not, that is in his hands. Be blessed this day. I'm going to end this video now. I've got to get ready to go to work tomorrow. I pray for my brothers and my sisters in the name of Yahuwah, in the name the great I am, that they would receive blessings and they would be given a break from the psychic, spiritual warfare and necromancing that they're going through, because I see it. All I see is race baiting and hate baiting on these channels lately. They're really ramping up their race baiting, hate baiting. They're getting to the point where they're allowing all of this porn, all of this hatred, all of this violence that normally you'd get banned and booted off for, but they're allowing it. It's very clear where the crescendo is coming. People are going to witness this stuff and releasing of the Epstein files and pushing all of this hate bait, this black fatigue, race bait, all of this stuff. They're pushing it. So don't be those people that can't recognize that hate and that race baiting and that necromancy. Hey, look over here, look over there, look anywhere but up. Just stop with the decodes already. Stay in the word of Yahuwah. Blessings. Great to see you. Great to see you, Matt. It's been a while. So yeah, praiseworthy. I had a dream that Oliver visited me this morning, and it was beautiful. Let us pray for our brothers and sisters who are being attacked. I'm 100% certain that's what's happening with some of the ones that I know and love. But that dream of Oliver visiting me was just, I needed that. Just a little dream of him coming to visit and his tail wagging, and he was being happy to see me. I miss my dog. I don't have kids. May you be blessed this day. Blessings, anointings. Okay. May this message find you.